Oh my goodness, we have had so many signs this week that we are totally on track with the decisions that we are making right now.
I know, let's talk about confirmation. It's been crazy, but along with it, we've had to face some realities, and it's caused a little bit of an emotional roller coaster.
Actually, a big one this week. Hello. I've got a feeling Jodie's up to something in here. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to get this letter finished to Arantxa. I've been uploading photos of the stuff that we are sort of suggesting that we'll leave for her.
Our landlord.
Yeah, I'm trying to sweeten how it sounds that we're going to be leaving. So
Why?
yeah, I just felt a bit bad, and I think we had a little repair in the house recently, and she sort of said, oh, we're a bit tight on money, could you go halves with us in that? And it was like, yeah, no problem.
Okay.
So just, I don't know, I'm just trying to like say that with us going is probably a good thing, because they'll be able to get more rent, because we've added so much value to the house as well.
True.
So
we've done some good stuff here.
So I'm kind of going through stuff
We've
now.
got the fly screens on the windows, and then we got these shade sails out there with the car.
We've got a lot to sell, obviously.
Yeah.
Going around the house and taking all the photos was like, whoa, there's a lot.
Dope.
But I don't know, I'm about to hit send. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, this makes it pretty real, doesn't it?
It does.
Because we're saying the 5th, like mid-April, when we go to the Baja for our house sit. So that's going to come around pretty quick. And I have to go to Australia as well during that time.
Well, I tried to fight you on the date. I did want to stay a little bit longer for when we come back from the Baja, but it makes sense. It really makes sense to just get out of here before that. But the biggest problem is we've got to get all this storage sorted out.
Holy crap, there's a lot to do. I'm feeling quite stressed.
So can I hit send or not?
I think the question is, could we see ourselves staying here until, we have that house sit in September. So could we see ourselves staying here until then? And then we've got to get our residency in late October, sometime in November. So if I tune in, I don't feel like we're here until then.
Well, it's a nice little view out of our office here, but...
Oh, it's a lovely place, don't get me wrong, but I just I don't know. It would be so much easier to stay here, and I could get all my work done that I need to get done for Freedom Fasters, but I just I don't feel like it. Do you?
Asking her for 6 weeks rent-free with all the things that we've done to the house, what we're going to leave behind, I feel it's like fair exchange, so...
That's fair, 6 weeks.
The cool part is to think we've only got 1 more month of rent to pay.
Oh, that's a bit exciting. That would be really nice.
All right,
Feels
let's do
right.
it. I just got to turn it into a PDF and put it on WhatsApp. So I'll just do that separately in a sec.
Okay. All right. It's happening.
Anyway, so after the last episode, I had actually posted it on Facebook. I obviously went up to YouTube and then I shared it on Facebook, and I realised I haven't told Mum yet. So I rang her the night after, and she was so funny. She was just like, I believe you got something to tell me, but don't worry, I've already seen your videos.
It's all right. I'll just be like everyone else, watch your videos.
In this video now, we really just wanted to talk about this crazy emotional rollercoaster ride that we've been on since actually making this decision to leave our little home base here in 12 weeks' time instead of in 12 months' time.
Yes. I think the pressure for me is time. It's always, whenever I get stressed, I can guarantee that there's an element of time involved. Either I'm short of time, there's not enough time for something, we're running out of time, like whatever it is. So I'm definitely feeling that at the moment. And I think the added pressure of that is not actually knowing when I'm going back to Australia yet. So that's adding pressure to both of us, and how long I'll actually be there. So given that we've only got 3 months now to actually do this, and I've got to go for Mum's operation and God knows.
And 60th wedding anniversary.
And 60th wedding anniversary, and everyone's going, and it's just going to be crazy. So that's definitely adding to it.
But for me, it's sort of started with, funnily enough, having to look at a different style of vehicle, which I started this whole research process with looking for the smallest vehicle possible, and we've ended up going to a pretty hefty size pickup truck. But anyway, found this really great one 3 hours away from where we are here. Fantastic kilometres. And I don't know what it's like if you've ever done like car searching, but if you see something with next to no kilometres on it, or miles, depending on where you come from, you know that it just adds years to the actual vehicle. So yeah, I started getting this sort of FOMO-y type of feeling like, we've got to do it now, but we can't do it now because we're waiting on this crypto rebate to come back from when we had crypto stolen from us from the FTX debacle. And, just a few other things like the timing of the market and a few things that we'd sort of put aside and allocated for when we'd be able to actually buy the vehicle. So I felt this sort of anxiety building up going like, we've got to do it now, got to do it now. So I had to kind of come back down off the hill a little bit and start looking and facing the reality of finances while Nat was sort of facing the reality of limited time. So I guess together we were creating a bit of a perfect storm.
Definitely. Yeah, so Jodie ended up sort of spiraling down. Mine was about stress, but Jodie sort of ended up spiraling down. And I think it did start with the whole truck thing, that you were really keen to get it now. And I kept thinking, why are we getting it now? There's
no point.
We've got a car. I would probably prefer to drive that around Mexico than a massive truck. And I just don't see the point in getting it right now. There's just not necessary. So that was a bit tough. And I got where you were coming from because it was a beautiful car and it was just an amazing price for the kilometres that it had. So
I'll say thank you, Mum, for actually saying another one will show up. And it's like, yes, it will.
Yeah.
Because we have to trust. I mean, our whole entire, decade of traveling the world with next to nothing and just going from house to house back to back and having this amazing experience was always based off trust and intuition. So I don't know why I sort of built myself up to that, but I had.
I think there was just a lot going on. But yeah, it did bring up a lot about finances because we don't have a regular income. We never actually have the entire time we've been traveling. And that, if you think about it, if you've had a regular income the entire time, which we've had before, we've had jobs, funnily enough.
A long time ago.
A long time ago we had jobs and we actually got paid every week or every month. But now you don't have that. When you take that away, it actually is really difficult. It's difficult to plan. It's difficult to trust. It does make you get off your butt and do things, which is terrific, and makes you more creative. And that's definitely what we've been over the last decade. But there's definitely that part that is just that underlying stress, I guess, the whole time of not knowing. So I said to Jodie during the week, I really felt that we were better at making lump sum amounts of money for different things rather than just trying to find something that we can either affiliate market or sell ourselves and make a regular income each month from those things. So
I'll be completely transparent. Our only regular income is about $300 a month.
Yeah. So while I get my YouTube channel up and running and my program about water fasting, I'm doing the do, but it's going to take a little while to get there. And so we can't rely on that income right now. So I've decided to go back to crypto trading, which I've not done in about a year because I did go off and do the fasting stuff. So it's interesting to revisit that. I think this meltdown this week actually caused me to sit there while we were chatting and I just went, how about I come back and I also trade with you now? So we are going to do that.
But we're going to make it a game.
Competition with each other to see. Because we're thinking, well, okay, maybe that's the way to actually buy the truck. And maybe that's the middle of the year towards, the sort of second half of the year that we'll buy the truck. So we could actually trade our way to the truck.
Yeah, instead of drawing upon the capital that is in crypto.
That's crazy to do
let's
that.
Make the money, or use the capital you've got to make the money as opposed to withdraw the capital. So that was a bit of an aha moment, and I felt the lightness of gamifying as well. So it's okay, if we're looking at a $20,000 truck. Then let's go, first one to 10,000 wins.
I don't know what we win, but half a car. We win half a car.
And the craziest part as well, some of these other signs that were showing up was this incredible number of house sits in locations that we've not been in Mexico as yet. But we made the commitment to go to this repeat house sit. that's what started this whole process. So we're going to honour that commitment. But, it was a bit of a niggle, I tell you. It's like, look at that beautiful beachside place and look at that beautiful mansion.
It's always the thing about house sits.
Look at that beautiful, mountain place. But again, I think because we've been so outside of the house sitting, it's just not been on our radar to look at all these great opportunities. And that was flowing in.
Now we are.
The research was there. We needed to actually, Nat suggested, getting onto the YouTubes and having a look and seeing what the lifestyle costs, like what the RV lifestyle costs.
Something we actually hadn't done. We had watched so many YouTube videos, I guess for the inspiration, see what Canada's like. And
the travel part.
All the travel part. But we hadn't actually started to look, and we looked at the vans and trucks and things like that, but we hadn't actually looked at what's it actually like to full-time RV and how much does that even cost? Literally had no idea.
Well, I kind of, even in our very first episode, I alluded to the fact that, this new adventure is going to cost pretty much 5 times what our current experience is costing. And that comes out about ballpark. We found a few people that are kind of, traveling in the way that we would probably travel. And we're looking at about $3,000 a month to sort of maintain this lifestyle. But we've probably got some additional costs on top of that because we can't be in the United States for the whole year. We have to go to Canada, we have to come back to Mexico, we have to fly to Australia. So there's going to be different expenses. And of course we, love Europe, so we might be doing trips over there.
Yeah.
But I guess what will actually help save some costs is that we will always have house sitting. So long as there is a way to park the vehicle, if we can go to the house sit.
Yeah, leave it somewhere. But we will mix it up with house sitting because we have to think about winter. We don't want to be down in Florida and down the bottom of the States where everybody else is in winter.
I just realised somebody would have been waiting for you to say, we don't want to be up in the north or in Canada during winter, but you went Florida because it's like, we're not going to go to where the crowds go, basically.
No, I'd rather be in winter in Canada, actually house sitting, not in my van, but house sitting. I would much prefer to be up there in winter away from everyone. We definitely will be, if the people are going here, we're going there.
And we've done that. We've done that all the way through our house sitting career too. We would always be in the shoulder season or off season, going to the places where, and we looked at it as like an act of service too. I mean, if somebody's a snowbird and they need to get out of Quebec for a couple of months to kind of warm up, we're more than happy to go up and experience, depths and depths of snow and shoveling and all that because it's new to us still.
I know. So. I think that's been the fun thing about house sitting, and I think RVing will be the same. We will do the opposite to what most people are probably doing, and it's just rebellious.
It's just who we are.
Just so rebellious at you. So rebellious.
Dear. So I'm just looking down at a couple of notes here because I was trying to remember everything that we wanted to say. That's what it was. That just to round all this out, it took hours for our landlord to get back to us.
Oh yeah,
it took hours. And the crazy part was that after I'd actually sent the email through to her and the photos and explaining and trying to do this sales pitch on kind of like, you're going to be better off if we go kind of thing.
Somehow.
Our toilet little chain thing broke and we needed to ask her to send the handyman over. So she answered to that, but she didn't answer to the other stuff.
We're still waiting.
So another few hours went by and finally she got back to us. But we also decided that because I hadn't actually recorded when, I was embarrassed with my mum for not telling her in person and her having to look at social media to find out our next news. It was like, okay, let's record Nat telling her parents.
That was interesting.
Well, I've actually got the recording. Let's just put that in.
All right, we'll put the recording in. But you'll see their non-reaction to anything because I think they just couldn't relate to it at all.
Yeah.
It's just they've never RV'd.
It's not processing. Whereas my mum has RV'd, so she had a lot to input to give us.
Yeah, and it's just not a way that they would ever travel.
No.
They like to go to fancy hotels and pay, tens of thousands of dollars to go away for a couple of weeks on a tour.
Yeah.
So I think they just didn't really know what to ask. So it's really interesting.
It was interesting. But let's just round it off with 2 things. Let's play the recording that Arantxa sent us.
Yep.
And I don't know if I've got the right place here, but let me see if I can find the right place because what she said was really lovely.
It was so sweet.
And then we'll say goodbye with this recording of you telling your parents. And in the next episode, we're going to talk more about the research and some of the decisions we're making and
why we're doing what we're doing.
And by then, we'll have news as to when Nat actually has to go to Australia.
Oh God, I hope so.
Yeah. All right,
Fingers crossed this week.
Let's see where we get to here.
Actually, we like some weeks ago, we decided that we are going to sell the house, and I didn't want to tell you anything because I wanted to be that you be there as long as you wanted before we put the house on sale. But I don't know, everything takes its place, no? So.
And that's what I answered back to her straight away.
Oh my goodness. So they put off, I don't know if you caught that, but they actually put off their house sale. They decided to sell this place, but they didn't want to tell us because they wanted us to stay here as long as we wanted to, because they knew that we really loved being here. And
they've really loved having us here. Like she wrote back saying, you guys are just so wonderful. We've been so happy to have you in our house. So that's really lovely. And what we're doing now is we've taken a whole bunch of photos and we're going to help, once they get the valuation on the place, we're going to help put it out to sell the house as well. So
amazing. So coming back full circle, yes, there's been plenty of signs this week. It's been an absolute roller coaster. We've gone down and we've come back up, but we couldn't deny that the signs were there all week.
Confirmation.
Just one confirmation after another that we were actually doing the right thing, and leaving mid-April is actually the right date for us. Yeah. So, like we used to do for 10 years, we would take one step forward. And we just see what happens next. And that's all we're doing again now.
And it always seems to work out. All right, we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. We're going to talk about some decisions then.
All right, have a good week.
You've had a busy week.
We have had a busy week because Jodie and I have some good news, some exciting news.
You've got a cat.
Besides the neighbour's cat. We're going to go RVing in the US and Canada. So we're going to finishing up here in mid-April, and then we're going to buy a big truck and a big van, like call them RVs, not caravans.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we'll live in the RV and travel around, go and see things.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you think of this?
So Nat's still talking to her mum and dad, and it's a little bit disappointing to have that sort of nothing burger aspect to, now they're just going to talk about, Canada and the US, and that's cool too, because there's plenty of places that we'll go, but I guess it's hard for them to relate to what the experience will be.
And to add to the stresses and the emotional roller coaster ride, I felt the need to try and trim my bangs, and I ended up with this wad of hair in my hand. So now I've got this hole in the middle, and I'm trying to carefully cover it up. So that's been a little bit stressful in itself.
Which was pretty funny because she was actually trying to fix the hole that was already there. Not quite sure how that works.
Oh, and on top of it, I fell up the stairs and I've got this massive bruise on my boob.
That she does.
Anyway.